BodyBags, where horror lies.
Welcome back to Body Bags. This is week number 532. This is a random week. I'll be your host, Jason from Horrific Nightmares. And this week I picked Becky. Becky is a 2020 film which runs approximately 93 minutes and is directed by Jonathan Millott and Cary Murnion. Now this stars Lulu Wilson as Becky, Kevin James as Dominic, and Joel McHale as Jeff. Now, Simon Pegg was originally cast to be the villain, and you'll see a common theme in the villains. But he had to pull out at the last minute, and they cast Kevin James. Now, this, of course, is the story of Becky. Now, Becky had lost her mom in the past year to cancer, which makes her teenage years not great. We'll just put it that way, not great. And her father is thinking about selling the house, which is even making her more angry. Now she has 2 dogs, which are Corso. I believe they're Corsos. And one is named Diego, and the other one, I cannot remember the name to save my life. I don't know why. But they're her friends, of course. And generally speaking, she has kind of a bad attitude. I mean, not that, because of her mom dying and her dad wants to sell the house. Well, her dad informs her that he is not going to sell the house, which makes her happy. But he has a piece of news to share with her. He is actually getting married, and his future wife and her little son are going to come there and spend the weekend. Meanwhile, you have 4 neo-Nazis who escape from prison and make their way to Becky's house in order to find something that had been hidden there years prior. It is actually a key, and this key comes into play several times within this one, and also the sequel, which I will be reviewing in a couple weeks. But you kind of have to keep your eye on the key because it does mean something. Not exactly quite sure yet, but we're getting closer. So, Kevin James breaks into their house. He says he lost his dog, and then he proceeds to take the family hostage. And Becky starts picking them off one by one. Now, that sounds a little ridiculous since you have probably a 12 to 13-year-old who is picking off grown men. But it makes sense if you watch it. So that basically, even though this is not listed as a horror film, this is extremely bloody and gory. It is a home invasion film at first, and then a revenge film, which basically fits horror in its own way. This movie is fantastic. This got a lot of buzz when it first came out, and I remember watching it and just thinking it was pretty awesome. And I was actually surprised that no one on Body Bags had reviewed it. So I figured, spread the word around a little bit. The only con I have for the film is not really a con anymore, since I've watched it several times. This is also extremely rewatchable, in my opinion. You have Kevin James as the villain. Now, I am not used to Kevin James being a villain, and at first, it's a little odd, and it seems out of place. But eventually, you get into it, and he is a pretty... he's a pretty bad villain. Yeah, he's pretty cool. All in all, I definitely recommend this. This is a fantastic film, and like I said, the rewatchability factor is really high on this film. Definitely check it out. This is Becky from 2020. It's still around. I see it in the dump bins now in Walmart, the ones that have dump bins that still have physical media. But yeah, it's a different story for a different day. But yeah, check out Becky, and physical media matters. And until next time, peace.